Welcome to my review of the Godox TL60. I've had these lights for a few weeks now and I absolutely love them, guys. And I'm going to tell you why I think you should get one or two. So how we're going to do this, we are going to start from the outside looking in. So let's look at the case. The Godox comes with this freaking awesome case. It's beautiful, it's neat, it's got a handle on top, it's nice and hard, and inside you got all your gadgets. I'm not going to go into too many details about what you get inside of there, but you get pretty much everything that you need. What I do want to do is make a little point about these babies right here. So these pieces of wire are just absolutely incredible and so useful, because at the top of your light you have a little hole that you can put this wire through. Just stick it through these holes here like that, tighten it up there on that side, and then all you do and then all you do is you hold it, hook it onto anything, and you've got yourself a light holder, which is great because if you got hooks on a wall, if you want to attach it onto some sort of stand or anything that you have, it's just really useful. It allows you to get this light into some places that you couldn't normally with normal C stands or any stands like that. So wonderful feature. I use this thing the most. So the battery on this thing is pretty good. It lasts for about 2 hours at full power. That's what Godox says. I found that to be true for the amount of time that I've used it. So I don't really have a problem with this because the battery will last quite a while. And if you do need to record longer than 2 hour stint, and it always has the power adapter which you can put in, not on this side, you can put in on that side, and you can use the light while you have the power put in. So with the battery life on this thing, you're not going to have any issues. So the actual lights themselves are 75 centimeters long. On the one end you have your power switch as well as your input adapter, and on the other end you have all your buttons with a really nice LED screen. So this screen can be very confusing at first. I remember opening it up and trying to figure out what to do on this thing and how to connect it, and it took me a while, but let's just go through all the buttons quick. The first button on the bottom row controls the wireless communication, both for Bluetooth with your app and Wi-Fi for the remote. The second button gives access to the Lee and Roscoe filter presets. The third calls up special modes, and the fourth activates brightness control, and the last calls up some functions and settings, such as temperature setting and Kelvin. The two vertical buttons are plus and minus. These are used to navigate through the menus, to set the brightness, etc. Its color accuracy is probably one of the best aspects of this light, with a CRI of 96 and a TLCI of 98. That means that this light is going to work really well with your camera, and the colors that you get are going to be as true to true colors as possible. Basically, in terms of color, what you see is what you're going to get. At the back of the light on this side behind the LED screen, it also has a microphone that works with one of the modes that makes the light change whenever the sound changes, or as my kids like to call it, party time. It only lights up 180 degrees. The light doesn't go full 360 around. On the back you have a key to tell you what the different buttons do and a whole bunch of colors which you don't really need to know. One of the great things about the design of this light is that the plastic ends are designed not as a circle but as a hexagon, which means that the light doesn't roll around when you put it down. So if I position it here, I can position it at this angle, straight up, away from me, or to the side. This is great if you're trying to put it up against a wall and you need to just have it sit there and not roll around. It has a white light as well as a warm light, as well as a full spectrum of colors. So this light has some really cool effects. I don't know how often I would use them personally, but I'm sure for somebody who's making films and videos, it's just a great asset to have in a light. I mean, with these lights, you could pretend that you're having a fire. You could pretend to be watching TV.
Standing in front of a boy, asking him to love her.
You could pretend that there's a police car outside your house. You could pretend that there's an ambulance outside your house. You could pretend that your neighbors are setting off fireworks outside your house. You could pretend that the paparazzi are outside your house. You could pretend that there's lightning outside your house. Or you could pretend that your neighbors are having a party next door and they didn't invite you outside your house. And each one of these modes can be adjusted with brightness, speed, and variations. But the best part and the easiest way to use this light is definitely through the app. The app is called Godox Light, which you can download through your app store. When you get into it, I've already set up my two lights under a profile. Once you have your lights set up, you'll have them inside of the screen and you can select each one, you can name them separately. And if I click at the top here, it gives me all the options for this light. Let's just start on the first one. And as I'm moving it, you can see my background changing. I can push the brightness up to 100%. And then I scrub through the bottom here and all of my colors change. From a red, I can go to white at the top. You can change your RGBW values, so I can pull my greens completely out. I can put them back in. Again, adjust the brightness. You have your HSI. Again, pretty simple, pretty much the same thing, your hue and saturation, as well as your intensity at the bottom. Something that's pretty cool is you can change your Kelvin, so you can make it really high. Let's just push the intensity up so you can see, or really low in order to give a nice warm light. And you can also adjust your tint, your magenta and your greens here, which I think is a great addition. They've also got the Lee and Roscoe gel filters. Push the intensity up so you can see just some really nice colors. As I scrub through them, you can see them changing behind me. And from my understanding, you can add some custom ones. I haven't done that yet. And these are some of the effects. You can cycle through the colors. You got a flash, laser as if you're in a party, lightning as if you're outside, broken bulb for one of those creepy horror movie moments, television, fake candlelight, fake fire, fireworks. And we got police car, fire truck, and ambulance. We just got some really cool features in this thing. Probably my favorite one of all though is, let's go back to this main menu, the color picker. So Godox gives you a general picture which it puts in, and if you select any part of this picture, it's going to give you the color and push out the color of the pixel that you select within this picture. So I'm going for that brown, that cloud, and you can add your own. So if I go in here and find a recent picture, there we go, a picture of Mo Salah. I don't support Liverpool, I'm a Chelsea fan. We're going to select the pixel on the tip of his nose. There it is. So if you want to be a YouTuber that has the color of Mo Salah's nose as your background, you can do it on this app. So that's the app. Highly recommend, if you get these lights, download the app straight away. Here's some of the pros and cons that I found for this light. The pros is that it comes with everything you need. It's got all the accessories packed into the bag. You're set to hang this light up wherever. It comes with DMX cables, it comes with everything. It's really bright. It's got really good colors. It's super easy to place and to hang wherever you need to put it. And probably the biggest pro about this light is the app, which is the easiest way by far to use this light. Some of the cons is that it takes a little bit of time to understand the LED screen and how to connect to Bluetooth. Another con is that the remote only comes with the double kit. So if you are going to buy this light, make sure it's a double kit in order to get the remote. If you buy a single tube light, you're not going to get a remote included. And that's it. I honestly can't think of anything else, any con for this light. It's really good. However, there is an important question. Can you use this light as your main key light? Well, I'm gonna turn my Godox SL60W off and I'm gonna pop this one up on the side and we're gonna see if we can use it just as our key light. So give me a sec. Alright, I've got this thing on 5,500 Kelvin. I don't know, you be the judge yourself. From what I see, it doesn't spread as well as you think it should, because on the back, that's actually a pretty decent spread that I've going on, but when it's up close, it feels a bit more like a spotlight than something that spreads. As well as the diffusion, it doesn't have much diffusion, so it's quite a harsh light on my face that I'm picking up. And this might be an option for some people. Some might buy 2 of these lights and use this as your key light, and the other one as a backlight. The only problem with that is that this light becomes your white light, and you don't have much variation. You have one color that you can use, where your other light is being used as a single white light. So you lack your contrast that you can create with 2 different colors. You could buy a set of 4 of these lights in order to solve that problem, or you could get yourself a really good key light. I use the Godox SL60W. I found that this is the best key light for its price out there by far. And I've made a video where I review this light and I show you everything about it, which you can watch over there.